So many kids are smart enough to not get caught and do really unique things you probably never knew about, so today we're counting down the 10 smartest ways kids cheated on tests. With that said, if you've ever gotten away with cheating on like homework or a test, leave a like on the video, but if you've gotten caught, comment what kind of punishment you got. Anyways, let's get right into the video. Number 1. Now obviously the best way to guarantee you'll do good in an exam is just not to sit it and get an expert to do it instead. Tons of past students have made insane amounts of money after they graduated by taking the SAT for other kids who pay them up to $2,500. All they need is a fake student ID card with details that match and they're good to go, and if they're not caught, the student walks away with a perfect score. On the other hand though, it is the most expensive kind of cheating though, so do me a favor guys, and I don't know, study.
Do you see it for men and women?
Both, men and women.
For Chinese students, Jack says he can sit for both men and women because Chinese names are not usually gender specific.
They can't tell whether it's a female or male by the Chinese name, unless you use an English name such as Anna. If so, then it's not possible.
When the exam is over and Jack leaves the room, the student pays him the other half of the money.
How about if I fail the exam?
I will only charge you 600.
Until he was arrested in September, Sam Eshigoff seemed like the perfect kid. At New York's Great Neck North High School, he was a top student, vice president of the business club, and a varsity athlete. But what may have been his greatest talent was the one that got him in trouble: his ability to ace standardized tests, which was how he began a double life as a con man.
I would call him an academic gun for hire. That's what he was.
People just needed him to get a job done, and he got it done.
And he was the man.
Number 2. So this is another one that kids have apparently been doing since their first ever test, which makes sense because it is kind of childish. The thing is, it's so simple, it usually works, because who's gonna notice a kid walking into an exam with a rubber band on their wrist? That's right, all you have to do is stretch out a rubber band and write on the inside whatever answers you need. Then you just collapse it down and walk right into the test room until it's time to stretch it out again without being noticed. Sneaky, sneaky.
On the rubber band, very small. Anyway, when you take the rubber band, you look at it like this, it just looks like gibberish. You can't read anything. When you stretch it out, you can see it says on there, maybe if you can read it, it says, hola equals hello. When you collapse it down, it's just nothing. You can write whole sentences on here and no one will have any idea what's on there. Take it out little bit by bit and just stretch out little pieces of it during the test. No one will ever notice. So.
Number 3. Okay, so I know cheating is always wrong, but the amount of effort it must have taken to set up a plan like this, well, it's almost kind of impressive. Basically, a group of students walked into an exam all wearing glasses with secret cameras installed, and then they live streamed the exam questions and sent them back to their base. I'm not even joking, at the base, other students were waiting to look up the answers, and once they had them, they sent them back to the students in code. Now you're probably sitting there wondering, how did the students get the answers? Well, that's the best bit, because it turns out they were also wearing smartwatches that could receive them. A+ for creativity, but probably an F for actually knowing the stuff on the test.
Okay, here we go. It has a power brick that looks like they hijacked it out of a box for an iPhone or something like that. Cleaning cloth, a USB cable to keep it charged. Now, no, these are not prescription. Ooh. Nobody, actually, you know what? The way they have it kind of as it looks almost like a screw. Would you be able to tell something is wrong here? I don't know. If you're kind of a slick dude, maybe you could get away with this and people don't even know you're recording. Sir, I'd like to order a Big Mac.
Number 4. Now this idea might sound a little extreme at first, and you're right, it totally is, but you'd be surprised how many students get desperate enough to try it out for themselves. Like seriously, for this to work, you have to create a convincing fake arm, which you attach to your shirt and then rest on your desk. So what's the point? Well, that leaves one of your arms completely free, so you could be looking up the answers on your phone under the table, or if you're a little bit less daring, reading the notes that you prepared the night before. I mean, hey, if you got a big class, is a teacher really gonna be looking for fake arms? Probably not. Number 5. If you ask a class full of students what subject makes them want to cheat most, I'm pretty sure you'll end up with math being the most popular choice. So it's not really surprising that kids have been using this technique for years now, because it's only really useful during math exams. The idea is, if you use a pencil to write notes all over the back of your calculator, it's actually pretty easy to sneak them in, because the pencil will only show up if you're looking super closely. Not just that, but most calculators have a cover you can put on, making it even easier to hide your answers until you actually need them. Number 6. So this is maybe the most common way to cheat, because there's just so many ways to do it, but the downside is, it's pretty easy to get caught, because, well, it's pretty obvious when you're looking at the answers. I mean, the basic idea is just to put your notes somewhere inside your clothes, whether it's inside your sleeves, in your cuffs, or even down the front of your shirt. It's quick and easy, which is why so many kids do it, but you might end up being asked by a teacher why you keep looking down your shirt every time you stop writing. So yeah, be smart about it.
About this and just unzip it like this. As you can see the cheat note that I wrote down. Obviously, I didn't write much of a cheat note. It was just a message saying, do not cheat, for you cheaters out there. Here's what the cheat note was.
Number 7. Kids have cheated on exams using erasers ever since they were invented, but I've got to admit, this technique is a lot fancier than just writing hints on them in pencil and rubbing them off with your finger. Apparently, students have upgraded to cutting a hole in their stationary eraser, then putting a tiny piece of paper filled with notes inside, and then they go on and glue the cover of the eraser back down over it. It's, well, pretty clever, but the only problem is it looks like it takes a fair bit of time, so you might be better off just spending that time, actually studying.
After that, glue one part of the strip to the eraser. So guys, our mini spy eraser is ready. Now let's just hope that our teachers will let us use erasers.
Number 8. Now this obviously won't work for every student in the world, but if you happen to have a super neat handwriting and want to go for something a little more risky, you could go ahead and do what these kids did. Basically, instead of sneaking anything extra into the test room, they just wrote notes on their nails, so small that even the teachers didn't notice it. Be warned though, make sure you can read your own writing, otherwise you're gonna get stuck staring at your hands for an hour and a half, with no idea what you're actually supposed to write. Number 9. So this is another super simple trick that's probably been around for decades, but the downside is you don't have a lot of space to work with. With that said, if it's a multiple choice test that you already know the answers to, or an exam where you just need a couple of formulas, there's a good chance that this one might work out for you. Literally, all you have to do is write the answers on the inside of a band-aid, then dirty the whole thing up so it looks used. Now put it on your arm somewhere you could easily get to it, and there you go, you've got a tiny little pocket of answers.
You might want to...
Number 10. Now what makes this one so genius is that teachers are always looking for kids sneaking extra stuff into exams, but taking in a spare pen, they wouldn't even look twice. I mean, this idea is so simple, I'm surprised it wasn't invented sooner. It's literally just a pen with a roll of paper hidden inside. The idea is you write down all the notes you need before the exam, and then sneak quick peeks whenever you need them. Even better, the paper quickly snaps back inside the pen whenever you're not holding on to it, so you can save yourself from being caught if you feel like a teacher's looking over your shoulder or something.